What up, everybody? InstructaBeats back again here with another conversion lesson. Today we're going to be talking about converting customary units of measurement with mixed numbers by either picking our Lexus or our saddle. So saddle up and let's check out our objective today. Our objective today I will be able to convert customary units of measurement when one of my measurements is a mixed number by choosing the Lexus or the saddle. So just as a quick reminder, if you've already watched our lesson on conversions, you already know this, but here are our steps that we're going to use to convert. Step number one, we're going to make our have and wanted chart. That's just going to help us be organized. That's also going to help us label the larger unit and the smaller unit, which is step number two. And then step number three, we're going to use that information to pick our mode of transportation, and then we're going to solve. All right, before we get started with the I do problem, right? What does it mean by pick your mode of transportation? So if you're new to us and you haven't seen a lesson before or checked out our awesome converting customary unit song, a quick rundown. We are either going to be taking the Lexus, which means we're trying to go from a larger unit to a smaller unit, and then we're going to multiply, or we're going to be picking our saddle, which is when we go from a smaller unit to a larger unit, and we are going to be dividing in that case. That's why that D right there is in the middle to help us remember that if we're going from smaller unit to larger unit, we should be dividing. So that's what we mean by pick the mode of transportation. This is just a shortcut. It's not going to conceptually teach you what you're doing. It's just going to help you figure out, should I be multiplying or should I be dividing to do this conversion? So there are lots of different ways to do a problem like this when it says how many cups are in 5 2/3 gallons, right? But I think the easiest way, the way that's going to work the best, is if we decompose this into the whole number and the fraction. So I'm going to make my have and wanted chart, and I have 5 gallons, and then I have 2/3 of a gallon, okay? And I want to turn both of those into cups. So next we want to label our large unit and smaller unit. So 1 gallon would be bigger than 1 cup. So we're starting with our larger unit, and we're trying to turn that into our smaller unit. Larger to smaller means the Lex comes out. So because we're going larger to smaller, we are going to be taking our Lexus. We're going to be multiplying here. Now, I went ahead and gave you this note right here, okay? In some places, you actually have to memorize this information by yourself. Some places give it to you, but just for the sake of this, we're really focused on our have and wanted chart and picking our transportation. So I just gave you that information you're going to need. So 1 gallon equals 16 cups. That means I need to do 5 times 16. Then I need to do 2/3 of 16. Okay. And again, I'm multiplying because I'm taking my Lexus. I'm going from larger to smaller. So if you did 5 groups of 16, that would make 80 cups right there. Okay. And then 2/3 times 16, and this one actually isn't as nice and neat as you normally would like it, and typically it's not going to be this messy, but when you solve it, you're still going to get a mixed number. You would actually get, I'm going to go ahead and put it over 1, I'm going to get 32/3, which would be 10 2/3. Okay, so if you need to know how to multiply mixed numbers, we obviously have a lesson on that, and I believe we actually have a song on it too, so check those out. So 2/3 of a gallon was 10 2/3 cups. 5 gallons is 80 cups. And now we just need to add those together. Okay. And again, if you need a lesson on how to add mixed numbers, feel free to check out our lessons. But this answer is going to be 90 2/3. So if you had 5 2/3 gallons, that would give you 90 2/3 cups. Again, this one is a little bit messy because you had another mixed number down here. The rest of them in this lesson aren't going to be, but I wanted to show you this way of decomposing your mixed number to make it a little bit easier math. All right, so here we have our we do problem. Okay, we got our steps over here to remind us what we should be doing. And for this one, I want you guys to pause the video, write down this problem as we solve it together, and that way you have an exemplar in your notes to look back at when you're doing work on your own. So our question says, how many feet are in 6 1/3 inches? So to help me organize my information, I'm going to use my have and wanted chart. So I have 6 inches, and then I'm going to decompose this into 6 and then put my 1/3 on a separate line. And I want to turn both of those into feet, okay? So I have inches and I want feet. Now I need to label my larger unit and smaller unit. So 1 foot would be larger than 1 inch, which means for this one, we're going from our smaller unit to our larger unit.
Saddle up now.
Which means we need to saddle on up, and we are going to be dividing for this one. So you're going to be using this information right here, which I actually just had to change because I had the wrong information in there. But 1 foot equals 12 inches. Okay, so again, some place can help you memorize that. For this one, I'm just going to give it to you so you can focus on your have and wanted. So here, we're going to be doing 6 divided by 12, okay? And we're going to be doing 1/3 divided by 12. We're taking our saddle for both of these steps because we're going from smaller to larger. So 6 divided by 12 would be 6/12, which you could simplify to 1/2. So 6 inches would be 1/2 of a foot. So we're going to change this to foot. There we go. 1/2 of a foot, just so it can be grammatically correct. And here we have 1/3 inches. And so we have a great song, Keep Change Flip, on how to do this. But when you solve it out, it's going to give you 1/36. So 1/3 of an inch would be 1/36 of a foot, okay? Which means now we just need to add these together. All right, so 1/2 plus 1/36. We can't add unless we have common denominators. So I'm going to turn 1/2 into 18 over 36. I'm going to add that to 1 over 36. And my answer is 1936. In 6 1/3 inches, that would really be 1936 of a foot. So again, breaking apart the mixed number into 2 different steps and solving it that way, still choosing our Lexus or our saddle. So here we have our you try problem. Okay, so in a second, you're going to pause the video. You're going to try this problem by yourself and then push play to check your understanding. I'll go through it and you can check off what you did step by step to make sure you've really mastered it. This one is not going to be as messy with a bunch of different fractions, answers. I made this one a little bit simpler. So go ahead and pause it, try this one out, and then let's check your work. So hopefully you just paused it and now we're checking it. So here we have a have and wanted chart. So I have 12 pounds, just put a P right there, and I want to turn that into ounces, so I'll do OZ. And then I had 3/4 of a pound, and again, I want to turn that into ounces. I see that I'm going from my larger unit to my smaller unit because 1 pound is larger than 1 ounce.
Larger to smaller means the Lex comes out.
Which means I'll be taking my Lexus and multiplying, all right? And so I'm going to actually write these over here so I have room. I'm going to use my note right here of 1 pound equals 16 ounces. So 12 times 16, and then what is 3/4 of 16? All right, so hopefully you solved both of those. 12 groups of 16 would have given you 192 ounces, so 12 pounds is 192 ounces. 3/4 of 16 is actually 12, so if you had 3/4 of a pound, that would have been 12 ounces. And when we add those together, we get a total of 204 ounces. So if you had 12 3/4 pounds, that would be 204 ounces total. So again, splitting it up, decomposing that mixed number, and then using your Lexus twice to help you makes this a little bit easier and a little bit less confusing than if you're just trying to turn that mixed number into an improper fraction and multiply across. It just gets kind of crazy with big numbers. So this is a way to keep the math simple. Thank you so much for checking us out today. We really appreciate it. Please check out our conversion song. We have an awesome conversion song. Check out our website, InstructaBeats.com. You can check out our other videos and merchandise there. We know there's lots of different options online, so we appreciate you spending your time with InstructaBeats today. Thank you again. InstructaBeats out.